the one. It's the one.
Hey man, say man, welcome back to TizzleTalkTV with another conversation. Y'all already know the motto, man. Ain't no day like another day, man. Look, who got with us today?
I'm supposed to introduce myself. Yeah. I'm Briana Washington.
Yeah. Hey, look, so I got 3 rules on TizzleTalkTV. Be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Get right. I know somebody a little nervous right now, but it'll be okay. Be 1,000. We ain't gonna get too crazy where you just gotta be 1,000. Just be 1,000. And look, this ain't no interview. This a conversation. So talk to me. You did. So hey man, look, a couple of icebreakers today, real quick for you. Since you all single and stuff. You go Tasha Cobb or you go Tamala Maine?
Tasha Cobb, definitely.
That quick?
Yeah. I for it.
Okay. Yeah. Jacqueline Carr or Leandra Johnson?
Ooh. They both have the same style. I'm gonna go with Jacqueline.
Oh, that was name?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Why
Jacqueline.
you just tell me that?
No, I don't correct people now.
Man, yeah. Why you just... So her name Jacqueline?
Jacqueline Carr. Uh-huh.
Jacqueline, okay. Well, so, hey, look, it's another one named, I might mess it up. Kiara.
Yeah, Kiara Sheard.
Okay, so who you'll pick out of them two?
Out of Kiara and Jacqueline?
Yeah, Jacqueline.
Ooh. It's a tie with both. Vocally, I'll go with Kiara. Kiara does more with her voice. But Jacqueline, I feel like Jacqueline, she carry her anointing. Like, she don't mind expressing. I think over the years, Kiara has kind of, she go more vocals. But they both strong. I like both of them equally. I
like Jacqueline.
Yeah.
I'm really mad right now because I've been saying Jacqueline, bro.
No.
Forever. Like, ain't nobody corrected me.
It's okay.
But yeah, I like her. She get me though, boy.
Yeah. She does.
I ain't lying.
And she's a hustler, like in real life. Both of the people that you just named, Kiara and Jacqueline, they're both like business women, entrepreneurs. They're not just relying on one chick. That's why I like both of them.
For sure. If you could pick somebody out the Bible for like, all these different stories in the Bible, who you would be?
Ooh. That's a hard question. Who would I be out of the Bible? I would say Samson.
Why him?
Because Samson was witty. Samson was smart. And I feel as though, like, you can use your brain to do anything. And, like, whenever Samson was in his, like, mode where the Lord really had to use him, he availed himself to let God use him. But Samson also had, like, a lot of flaws. One of Samson's struggles was he wanted things and people that he couldn't have. So he kind of, and I think that's natural. Like, he wanted Delilah. He wanted the, I can't even think of the other woman that he went after that just wasn't made for him. But then at the end of when it was all said and done, he came back and he avenged the Philistines in one blow. Like, so it'll be Samson right now. Like, if I had to think quick.
For sure. I always say I go Job.
Okay.
Just cause it's just because like I done been in Job moments a few times in my life. Like Job went through stuff, Job lost it all, then everything just came back like double time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just go Job because it like, well, I done went through what Job done went through a few times. For real. So yeah. So, man, where your mental space at right now?
Truthfully, I'm in between. I'm in a really difficult season, honestly. And I was just telling my friend earlier, like, I feel as if I have so many great things going on, right? Like the book release, the conference coming up, just different things that are happening that are just so liberating. But then there's this one situation that's just like harrowing, and it's really about to wear me out, And I just, I'm ready for some relief. And it's crazy that you even talked about Job, because in the Bible, the devil asked God, will you consider my servant? And just try him and see. And the Lord was like, yeah, like, get that one. She gonna, and I feel like that's the kind of season I'm in. Like, well, God, like, try her. Like, and I can't, it's like every week, like, I feel like as if Sunday is like I'm living the Bible completely out. Like, grace and mercy being renewed day after day. Like, I've never had to wake up and say, God, renew me. I want to forget about yesterday and just living today, and then whatever tomorrow brings, I can't care about it. Like, so I feel that's where I am. Like, it's like rock in a hard place. Like, it's like I can see the end, but I'm also like in this season where I know the Lord is like, try her. Like, she's been through enough behind the scenes or over the years, and I really feel as if God had me in like training. Because the things that I'm seeing now, I've seen it before, but it's like I was a runner. So whenever I was faced with something hard, like, I gotta go. Like, we're not going through this. And I would flex, like, I'm worth more than this situation. Like, just find little reasons and little ways to run. And this time I have nowhere to run to. Right. So, and every time I pray and I'm like, Lord, I can find something else. Like, and God like, you got to throw this one out, girl. You just got to stay. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's wearing on me. But I know, like, every week, like, the Lord is just sending a reminder, like, look, I got you. Like, just figure out what this season is trying to teach you. So that's what I've been doing, like, every day, just trying to figure out, like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Because there's no way I've been in this same spot for like 8 to 9 months. Like, it's just, it's starting to weigh on me now. It's starting to weigh on me, but we here.
So that's how you dealing with it? Like, just talking to him?
Praying. I vent a lot. I only vent to people though that can lead me. Like, there's another scripture that talks about, being in the company of good counsel. And so I lean on people, not only those that are my equal, but those that are higher than me, that can see things about me that I can't see about myself. Like, I have mentors, I have my parents, and they're like, they'll point it out like, nah, like, you probably should have fixed this 2 years ago. So maybe this is what, the Lord trying to teach you. But definitely lots of prayer, lots of self-care. Like, I take myself out on dates. I went out on one day before yesterday. Like, I go out on dates by myself, and I treat me like I would want my potential husband to treat me if I was going through this season and I was married. Like,
y'all women better listen, but you just got into it real quick. I like that. I done had a season where I had to do that. Like, go out by myself. You know what I'm saying? Go to a nice restaurant, smelling good, looking good. And the waitress come, bring me my stuff, like, somebody else come date. I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? So that was so. So how was growing up for you?
Ooh. It was. I had a great childhood. Both my parents are preachers. So we were in church like 7 days a week. We weren't like, it was Monday through Sunday. Monday night was prayer. Tuesday night was a Bible study at one of the churches. So my dad was a pastor at one church, and he was the assistant pastor at another church. And then he was a youth pastor at one point. So all I knew for a long time was just church. But I had my parents, like, we weren't super deep, but my dad, like, they didn't wear the pants. Like, it was all of that. So we didn't get our ears pierced for a long time. And like, over time, like, I will say I kind of grew angry because I didn't understand why so many people had access to my parents. Like, I'm like, this is my mama and daddy. Like, why y'all gotta, So for me, like, I think I kind of recluded when I was younger. Like, I'm still an introvert, but I would go into a room by myself and just be okay with reading books, with watching TV. Like, I enjoyed everything about just being alone. And even I can remember in elementary school, like, I was just a chill child. And one of my teachers called my mama one day, and she was like, I need to have a parent conference with you. Like, there's something wrong with Briana. So my mama at the school, she was like, well, what's wrong with her? And the teacher was like, well, she don't talk to me. So I just want you to know that she don't talk. And my mama was like, she don't talk to me either. So if you can get her to talk, let me know so we can work through this thing together. So I will say, like, I was just a chill kid. Like, and I always thank God for my grandfather. He's dead now, but I just always dreamed of a world outside of, nothing against Waco, but I always dreamed of a world, like, I wanted to see China. I wanted to go to Italy. Like, my grandfather, like, he had his, I used to get on his nerves so bad because I was, like, always the one getting bored really quick. So he would get mad and be like, go read an encyclopedia. Like, the orange. Y'all remember the orange?
Yeah.
So he had, like, every volume. And he was like, go read it. So I did a lot of dreaming. I love, like, Disney movies. So everything in my mind was, like, always so whimsical and princessy and happy ending. So I had a good childhood, though.
That was so.
I had a good childhood.
Sundays a weekend church, though.
7. God. 7, like, we had choir rehearsal on Thursday, then you got youth Bible study, then you got church on Friday night. 10 times out of 10, my dad had to preach on Saturday. Max on a Sunday, we probably would have 3 services, and then on some Sundays, we had to come together for prayer at 6 o'clock. Like, all we knew, I did my homework in the back of the church, slept in the back of the church. I will say, though, it wasn't until I probably was in, like, the 7th grade when my daddy finally woke up and was like, oh, my girls need a life. Like, because my behavior started, like, flipping. I went from being quiet to, like, really showing out to get attention because I wasn't getting it at home.
Yeah.
So he switched it up, and then we started going, like, to people's houses more and being with friends. But 7 days a week. It
crazy. Like, well, I ain't gonna say it crazy, but you know, some people who come up like that just church all day life. You know, young. You know, they kind of go away from the church when they get onto an age where, you know, where they can make the choice whether they go or not. So you still in there, boy. You doing all right.
Oh, no, I straight.
You did?
Yeah.
For a long time?
So, I don't even know a word for it, Tay, but I kind of did both. Like, I knew, okay, I learned at a young age how to do both. How to be the church girl and how to be somebody else.
The party girl.
I knew how to live a double life. And I really will say I honestly didn't come out of that until like 3 years ago, where I knew how to finesse. Like, I knew how to be what they needed me to be at the church, and I knew how to be what my friends needed me to be in the streets.
Hey, I understand.
So I strayed. Yeah.
I did I stopped going completely for about 2 years.
What made you do that?
Man, life just I was going through so much, like back to back to back. And I'm like, man, God, I'm going to church. I'm serving. I'm trying to do everything right. Man, like what I'm going for if ain't nothing changing?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And so I just strayed. But I always just knew, you know, growing up, like in the church, I always knew, like, when I'm doing wrong, the content I learned, that was God always talking to me. So I ain't make no super crazy mistakes out there, but yeah, I just was mad, really mad. God, why is you not did what I want you to do for me? You know, not really understanding stuff, but yeah.
How old were you when you?
Sure, I was in my 20s.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay.
I was in my 20s for sure, and hey, I was living that double life you was just talking about.
Time to be alive.
Boy, listen here, boy. Man, who had the most significant influence in your life?
My mama.
For sure. That's your best friend.
That's my girl. Yeah. But well, I will say both of my parents, but my mom, like, she instilled like a lot of values, like a lot of wisdom at a young age. Like, look out for this, look out for that. That's not your friend. But she just always there. Like, she's always there, always supporting. And the same with my dad. Like, they have like a different weight. Like, one person does what the other person can't do. And so, but my mom definitely, coming up, I felt like she tried her hardest to make sure, like, we didn't end up in resentment or not being exposed to life.
For sure. Like, did you have her to yourself? I know you just got one sister. Mm-hmm. Both of y'all were mama girl?
No, I'm a daddy's girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a daddy's girl. That's crazy. That's in the book.
Really?
So I wouldn't say we share her. I think coming up, you're a parent. You have to parent your children differently. So I think what I needed, she poured that, and what my sister needed, she poured that. But on the outside looking in, it's like she gave one of us more than the other. Like, but really she didn't. She just knew what both of us needed.
Right. If you could go back in time, is there anything that you would change?
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
Nope.
You would live that double life for sure.
Listen, I don't regret anything.
For sure.
I mean, because I feel as though everybody, I don't know. I wouldn't change it.
I respect people more. Like, before I see it, like I'm just saying, because me, man, I done always came up in church, right? Mm-hmm. But hey, I was out there with the guy too. But I ain't even gonna say I respect it. I seen that, you know, the guys, they respect me more than they might respect somebody that just all the time go to church and just, you know how they go. But they understood, like, man, on the Saturday night, we might be out late, kicking it, doing what we doing. I'm like, hey, y'all, boy, I'm finna holler at y'all. Mm-hmm. Oh, Tizzle got to go to church in the morning. They already know what's up. But, like, I have a problem with people just acting so holy all the time, 24/7. It ain't that much holiness, I don't think, in the world now. Come on. So, hey. So your clothing line, in my prayer bag, where that came from? Well, just the title.
My sister, she used to pray. Like, there would be moments, like, when I was living in D.C., I had a lot going on, but I wouldn't tell nobody. And she would call and be like, okay, what's going on? And I'd be like, girl, you in your bed today? Like, so that's where it came from. I just would always say, like, she done got deep in her bed. And I was asleep one night, and I saw the design in my dream. So that's really how I got one way that the Lord really started speaking to me. Early on, like, I dream about a lot. I can see it in my dream, and then I started understanding, like, okay, these are visions. Sometimes it's your subconscious, but sometimes it's really instructions. And so I saw it, and I'll be candid now. To me, in my prayer bag was corny initially. It was so corny to me. And so my sister, I was like, well, if you wear this shirt, like, I'll pay you to wear it just to see what happens, because you came with the slogan. And when she wore it one night, people started asking, like, oh, I want that shirt. And I said, oh, like, we onto something. But I knew then, like, I could not go in it for the money, because I know it was a God-given idea, and I couldn't go for the money. But that's where it came from.
It wasn't like, or is it scary to you when you see stuff in your dreams and stuff like that?
Yeah, depending on what it is, like, yeah. So every person that I dated that has cheated, I've seen it in my dreams. Exactly how it done happened.
Don't worry.
Like, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I would see the person, like, or if I get in their beds and lay down, I would go to sleep and dream about it.
You scared.
I would never tell them.
You just wait it out?
That's why my phone on silent. What you mean? I just feel like God.
Why you look though? Okay, so you know how your dreams is vivid. You know what's going on. Okay, boom. You done seen he gonna cheat on you, whatever. Why you wait on it? Why you wait on him to do it?
Honestly, because like that reaction I just got from you, like, oh, you back, like how you like, oh, she's scared or crazy.
Most definitely.
So when you see things so vividly, you feel crazy. You wanna, I know for me, and I'm gonna take this bracelet off because I know it's making a lot of noise, but you wanna not believe it. Like you wanna switch the narrative. You wanna stay and see like, okay, maybe I was just thinking about like something before I fell asleep. So for me, just being like very naive, I used to try to just talk myself completely out of reality. Like, and every time though, like I got a story that you mind if I tell it?
Go ahead, come on with it.
So one night I used to live in South Carolina. So my boyfriend from college, say why you smiling?
No, hey, I'm just.
So one night, I had to stay at his house. My sister, she came with me. We both had pets or whatever. When I called him, I was like, hey, I need to come stay at your house tonight. We got a little situation going on with the electricity. Well, I'll be honest. Our lights had got turned off because we forgot to pay the light bill. I was going to try to cover that up.
V1000,
but yeah, what you saying? Our lights had got turned off.
Okay.
So, because we forgot to pay the bill. You know, we was in college, just being us. So, I called my boyfriend at the time. I'm like, hey, I need to come and stay with you. So, he lived like over the bridge, less than 2 minutes away. And so I get there, y'all, and I smell like fabuloso and everything. So I'm like, But I go to sleep. Went to sleep the first time, and I dreamed that I found perfume. And I dreamed that I found some clothes that weren't mine in his house. So the next morning when I woke up, he handed me some. He was like, this is yours. Here's your pants. So I opened the pants, and they like a size 18. I was like, nigga, I don't wear this. Like, but I didn't say anything. I said, where you get these pants from? And he was just like, nah, they're yours. And I was like, no. We both were at Walmart. He was like, nah, they're yours. I said, they ain't mine. But I moved on. Like, in the next breath, I looked over and saw the perfume that I dreamed about. So I asked him again. I was like, so who perfumed it in? He was like, well, it was some Victoria's Secret spray. I didn't wear Victoria's Secret. Nothing wrong with her, but I didn't wear that. Mm-hmm. So he was like, no, that's your spray. I said, no, I don't wear that. Like, still played it cool. So time went on that morning. I ended up going back to sleep. Went to sleep and dreamed that I found some underwear. And I was like, okay, like, you know what, God, what you trying to show me? All that day, I got up, went to class, and, you know, came back to his house. And I started packing my clothes. Now the lights back on, so I had to go time to go home. So I started packing my clothes, and I'm looking for my bonnet. So I'm all under the bed. And I was like, okay, there go a black bonnet. It was some black thongs. So... Say, I cannot make this stuff up. So I'm grabbing them like, okay, I got my bonnet. We about to go. I picked them things up. And I said, oh, this a big girl like this. So I asked him like, hey, who this? Y'all.
I'm sorry. Keep going. This is a good story right here.
I'm like, who does this belong to? And he like, such and such came in and had, can we say that on your podcast? Came in and had sex in my bed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he was very clean. So I'm like, you don't let people have sex in your bed. That's not what you do. Mm-hmm. So I honestly did not react. And I said, God, you showed me all of this in a dream, like the night before. So that's how like vivid it was. I didn't leave him though. Didn't leave him, didn't break up with him. But I knew that it was another female. And I knew she was bigger than me. Like, I knew that, and I knew she wore Victoria's Secrets. But I never wanted to believe the truth. And he didn't even, I can't remember It was so long ago. I can't remember if he lied his way out or what happened for me to just be like, oh, okay, let me just go home and, yeah. So that's how clear the dreams be.
So, what an amazing story.
Say, don't do that to me now.
No, look, though. I just want to ask you this. You were finna put them panties on your head.
Oh, I thought it was a bonnet.
How close it was when you were finna put it on?
So I didn't put it on because it was at the end of the day. It wasn't like at night. I was just packing my stuff. So I was looking for my bunny.
You didn't know till you got to the high?
I was grabbing them and pulled them out. So I didn't put them on my head.
Okay.
I was just packing my bags, get ready to go home.
Dang, well, so why you ain't leaving? Well, you were probably young. I know.
How old was I? Why didn't I leave?
I don't know, because God told you.
Multiple times. Like,
I was just finna say, so how many relationships this was that,
So I have only been in 3 relationships. All of my relationships have been long term. Like, I am a certified lover girl. Like, when I'm in, I'm loyal, I'm there. Like, in every way possible. And you're going to get full commitment out of me. And I would ride something in the ground before I just be like, okay, this is not serving me. If it's a relationship.
For sure.
Situationships, I'm packing up my bags. And I done been in some situationships now. The distance between that relationship with that story and my next one was about 6 to 7 years before I got into another one. But in between, I had my way, definitely. But if I'm in a relationship with somebody, like, I'm there. But I think in that one, I should have left. Now that I sit and think about it, I mean, great for the book, but he did so much. He did so much stuff.
He in the book? That story?
Not exactly. Not that story, no.
Okay. We ain't gonna
there are other stories, sure, like from that relationship that are definitely in that book. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I got to read that.
Yeah, though. He did a number. And that goes to show you, like, you asked me why I didn't leave, like, just intentionally being naive. There's a difference between being green and then choosing to be green. Like, some people literally make the choice to say, I want to be green. I think that's who I was. Like, I didn't lack sense. I didn't lack knowledge. I just wanted to be in love so bad.
That ain't you no more. Nobody can play with you now.
If anything, I'm going to play. If I'm playing. No, you can't. I think where I am now, like today, nah. For sure. You got to come here and sit down somewhere. Like, I need to know what your intentions are. I need to know everything off rip. Like,
okay, I'm gonna be serious in a second, but I just want to know what side them draw
3X. I remember everything about y'all know how they say in the church. Everybody remember when they first got saved. I remember them draws. I remember those were not panties, because my mama gonna kill me when she hear me say draw. Them were draws. And I mean that with A's. Like, I was just standing there like I did once with the pants. I was like, good.
Ain't no way.
I don't look nothing like this. And nothing against big women, like, at all. But it was just like, honestly, when men do cheat on women, I don't know why I'm going this way, but it does create a negative self-image in the female's head. Like, it made me start thinking, what is it about me that he couldn't stay with me? Like, and so maybe that's why I stayed, to try to prove a point to myself.
I think a lot of females, it be like that from a lot of females. I done heard that before.
Yeah.
That was a great story, by the way. I mean, it was a bad story, but it was a great story.
That's why I told it. It's funny.
Yeah, but I know for like you just said though, you over it. It was like stuff that I done went through in my days that for a long time I couldn't even. It come in my head, I'm like, God, get this out of my head. I gotta do something else, because that joint was like bad on me, but I got to a point where I can laugh and all that about it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah.
how important do you think it is personally? Well, not well for everybody in like different people. Let me get it together. How important do you think it is for a person to have a relationship with God?
Oh, that's like the top. It's very important. Very important. Because your relationship with God, first of all, is not just contingent upon going to church. And I think that's a narrative that a lot of people... Now, I'm not saying don't go to church. That's not what I'm saying.
For sure.
But what I am saying is your relationship with God, the Spirit of God living on the inside of you, is truly a guide. Like, it shows you where to go, who to go and be with. Like, and then in moments where you need comfort, it's like, okay, God, this is what I need. And even though the word is there, but the Lord may send somebody across your path or tell you to go watch a movie or do something like to lift up whatever is on you. So a relationship with God is like number one for me. Like, I know for me, even when I was living a double life, I knew that I needed that. Like, it's a daily source. Like, it really is. I could go out a rabbit hole about it. It's a source.
What you would tell a person that like don't have no type of relationship with God, like how to build that relationship? What should they do?
First of all, have grace on themselves, and whatever you think a relationship with God is, dispose of it. Because, like I said earlier, a lot of people think God church. Like, oh, I gotta go to church every Sunday and I gotta wear the long dresses. I've told people, start with removing everything out of your mind as far as what you think this should look like. And then build first your prayer life. So every day try to say something to God, even if it's when you wake up in the morning. Thank you. Start building the communication, because there's no relationship if we can't talk or if we can't commune with one another. And then I let them know, like, okay, now you can start reading the word. And when I tell people to start reading the word, I always tell them to start with something simple that they can understand. Don't go to them big boy scriptures and try. Because you have some people that are super deep and go straight to Revelations and want to know about the end times when you ain't even got the beginning times together. Like, start with something that you can relate to. So if you need comfort, like, okay, go to Psalms 23 and recite that every day. You can say the same scripture every day and get a different meaning out of it every day, because the word never changes. It say the flowers may wither and the grass may wither and the flowers may fade, but the word doesn't change, meaning that the word is transcending. So when you're 19, that word is going to be the same when you're 25, 26, but it's going to hit different. So what I saw Psalm 23 as at 19, I don't see it as that as 31, because now I have some experience under my belt. So I tell people, like, start with scriptures that relate to whatever you got going on. So if it's financial, Google it. Google a financial scripture. Google a scripture about healing. Like, Lord, I need to know how to fix my relationship with my father. I need to know how to communicate. There are scriptures for everything. And then after you build that foundation of prayer and reading your word, find you a church home. Because finding a church home and getting that download every week actually does help. And I'm not saying that because my parents are pastors or whatever. I'm saying that because we just had a conversation about everything that I'm going through right now. So every Sunday I get a new refreshing and I can make it through another week. It's not like I'm getting high or anything. I'm sorry. It's not like I'm getting high or anything, but I definitely pull strength from the word, pull strength from the worship. So start with prayer. We'll start first with removing whatever you think you're supposed to be doing, because that's a mistake I feel like a lot of people make. Where they see like people in the church like you and me, and they feel like, let me be like them. And then you conform to what they are and you ain't happy because you're not being yourself.
For sure.
So remove all of what you think and then start with the basics of prayer, reading your word, and going to church.
I think I got a good relationship with God. I do. I don't think I really struggle with is like how you just were talking about, like he show you stuff in dreams, like, and oh, did God talking to me? Sometimes that's what I deal with. Like, I be like, I don't know. It might be something, but I be like, I don't know if this God or what this is. That's the only thing I struggle with. Like, and I really want to get to a point where I understand, like, I can just be walking and like, oh God, okay, I know that was you. I want to get to that point. How does that come? It just
time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Time and trial and error. Like, it didn't just come overnight. It came with like time. Sure. And now it's because I was right there too, and I would call my mom and be like, I think the Lord is speaking, and she'd be like, okay, we'll go pray. And God establishes His word in 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. So if you hear it the first time, the Lord gonna tell you first, because you're first partaker of whatever God is about to say. So He'll tell you first. If you hear it again from another source, it's like, okay, that's the second time. But when He comes back around that third time, you'll be like, all right, this is what I need to do. So it comes with like trial and error. And then there are moments where they say try the spirit by the spirit. Right. So certain spirits, you've encountered them before. So like I'm sitting here talking about my ex. When I go back and date another person, now I know that spirit because I've been there. So time and discernment coupled with like a relationship, then you just can hear. And then whatever your lifestyle is has a lot to do with how much you hear from God. Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna start. If I see it 1, 2, 3,
yeah, He does.
I'm gonna start looking at it like that. Just pay attention. You got to be trying to pay attention to though. What you love about ministry? It's
so free, Tay. Oh, it is so free. This is ministry, right? For sure. You can. I remember I thought ministry at one point was just like going to church, and it's not. Like the Lord had to really show me that you are ministry. Your lifestyle is ministry. So whatever that looks like, I can use everything in you and about you. Where you go to work at is ministry. How you present yourself. But I love how free it is, and it's not confining. Ministry is not confining. I think church has made it confining based off of not necessarily traditions, but lack of understanding. I think certain conversations to break down barriers need to happen in churches. For sure. But ministry is not confining. Like, I love how free it is. How, like, even when I sing, I can do whatever with my voice, but my posture and my heart is like towards God. So when I finally get to that space of being free in God, like, and watching people not just cry, but you can sense in the room when people are getting healed. For sure. Like, so it's free.
What's your purpose in it?
In ministry?
Yeah.
Food. I really want to see people free and living a whole life. And so when I say that, like, a whole life as in like you're complete and content. Like when you grow to a space of saying, really not my will, thy will be done. That's a whole place in God, meaning that the Lord can just take you and wherever He wants to put you, He can put you there. So I know my purpose in ministry is to show people how God can pull you together in Him and make sure that you walk in alignment with whatever His will is for your life. What I'm doing now is so far outside of my personality. But because I've decided to be whole in God, I trust that wherever He takes me, that He's going to sustain me on whatever level I'm on. Like He's gonna be there. So I want to show everybody, like, whatever God has given you, like whatever way God has given you to get His word out, do it that way. And don't confine yourself to thinking like you just got a one-way thing. Like, because when you become whole in God, the Lord will allow you to do things like Samson, like tying foxes' tails together and burning. Like, that ain't common.
Not at all.
That ain't common. But every time the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson. So that's what I want. That's what I want people to see. I want people to experience God the way I experience Him.
You broke that down real good. Hey, you broke that down real good, man. Cause I be trying to tell people like, I may sit with somebody who, they might not got the, you know what I'm saying? And some older people pretty much that be in the church and stuff like that. It was like, I don't know about that and this and that. But I'm like, but I'm doing my ministry though. It don't matter who I'm seeing with what I do. It's at the end of the day how I carry myself, what I put out and so even with the platform, I be kind of shaky about the ways I'm gonna go because of like what people will say. But now, man, the relationships I done built just doing this, even if it ain't no person that's in the church like you that can relate to like church stuff, man, it be other people I got to sit down with to be able to reach out to them that they ain't on the level that I'm on. They might can't go. They might can't balance it with the church and over here too. Not that I'm doing that no more, but they might can't balance it. They might just be one way. You feel me? But once they kind of understand just that relationship with God, really, where you get your balance from. And if I can teach somebody or help somebody get on that level, man, I'm gonna do that. So now I'm glad you said that. You kind of helped me too. Just saying what ministry was too. So yeah, hey, forget what y'all talking about.
Not that. Tay said he about to come back to back with the episode.
Hey, man, forget what y'all talking. Cause it be some ideas I have, but I be like, I don't know about that one. But it's I don't just want to be a podcaster. I want to be a content creator, and that go a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I appreciate too, man. So, sleeping between the pews. So, when I sleeping between the pews, right? When I hear that title, I would sleep between them pews. Now, I don't know where the title come from just yet. I'm finna know, but sleeping between, I would sleep. I would sleep between them pews when they got chairs in them. I would sleep between them. So that would come to my mind. So sleeping between the pews, where that title come from?
It's a literal play on words. So, like I said, I grew up in the church. I slept between the pews a lot because we were in church 7 days a week.
Well, I was.
So, yeah, you were right.
Okay.
But then not only that, you would think somebody that grew up in the church would have more sense or more discernment or more stability in God. And so, literally, you know how we be like, oh, she sleep, like, wake up. Like, literally, like, when woke people, like, you can be in the church your whole life, hear the teachings, get the foundation, and still not know anything. So that's sleeping between the pews. It's a play on words. Like, I did it literally, but then I also, when I became an adult and was still trying to move in life, I was still literally sleep and didn't have a relationship, thinking I could do things on my own, go about things my own way. So that's where the title came from.
Did you have a moment that you feel like, oh, this what woke me up?
Child, moments. How many times did I wake up and go back to sleep? Yeah, I had a lot of moments. A whole lot. You want me to tell the story? No,
I'm just saying,
playing.
Was it just, you don't have just one moment though that just, I'm woke now? You still be going to sleep?
No, like now I'm up, but I had I had moments where I would be up, then I go back to sleep, then I wake back up again. Now, I'll say I chose to wake up. So, like, I made a choice to go ahead and choose. But then it was like I knew better and still didn't do better. So, I guess my real moment of waking up was probably when I chose to be celibate. Like, abstinence is a difference. But when I chose abstinence, I wanted to prove to myself that I could do something consistently. And when I did it, I'll be candid, I did not do it because of what the church said. Because if I did it because of what the church said, I wouldn't have had sex anyway. You get what I'm saying? So I did it because I wanted something different.
Right.
And so when I chose to be abstinent and just really just saying like, okay, I'm not giving any members of my body to another, like I'm not doing it no more. I started to wake up like for real and be like, okay, so that's why you did that, Lord. Like it just brought a different level of clarity.
Right. So this woke stuff kind of a new thing. Break that down. Like what is woke? In sleep, like what people mean when they say they woke though?
Child, I don't get in them woke conversations when they be talking about it on Facebook and stuff. I think like you said, an epiphany, like a moment where you come into the realization of what a belief really is, or what the truth of something. So that's what woke means to me. And woke for my life could be different for the woke on your life,
right.
Because we have two different paths. We have two different callings and two different purposes. Right. So what you experience and what I experience that caused me to sleep anyway, what's going to cause me to wake up is going to be something totally different.
Right. You good. So that what really inspired you to write the book though?
The how I just told you that story, stuff like that would happen all the time. And I said, I would go to work when I worked in Forsyth in like 2016. I would go to work and tell my coworkers stories, but like stuff would happen on the weekend. I come back, like that would be the thing on Mondays and Tuesdays. We would sit at the desk and just talk. And I found this. I said one day I'm gonna put this in a book and I'm gonna mail it to Tyler Perry or somebody at Lifetime, and they're gonna make my story a movie. Because it was just stuff like that just kept happening. Like it was something all the time. And so that's what inspired me. Like during COVID, I told God like I didn't want to leave that space. I don't know what it was. I was living in DC during the time. Y'all weren't locked down here. Like Waco was free. I used to fly home just because y'all weren't locked down. But in DC, we had police patrolling our neighborhood, so we couldn't leave the house at all during COVID. So I had to find something to do. What?
Yeah. So on like, what message does your book send to people?
Don't be a fool. No, please. So by the time you finish the book, you are definitely going to want to seek some type of counsel, some type of therapy, and dig into what is it about your past that has created you to be the person that you are today. It's a story of resilience. We talked about Job, and that's one of the patterns of the main character. She's going to lose everything. But the reason that she lost everything is because of she didn't have any rooting. Like she felt she only called on God, and she as in the main character's name is Sasha. Sasha only called on the Lord in moments of convenience. And so how many of us do that? We like, God, if you get me out of this, we gonna be straight. Or if I remember I used to smoke and I told God one time, if you let me get this note out, like we gonna be good and I ain't gonna smoke no more, and went right on back. It's just like, so how many times have we made empty promises to God? So Sasha had no kind of foundation, sleep, to grow up in the church and just not rooted in anything. So she went and built a life trying to outlive a past life, in which I did do that. So by the end of the book, it's just going to show you that you have to rely fully on God. And when you start wondering why things are really being taken away from you, take a step back and try to figure out what foundation did you build your stuff on. And I will say now, nothing that I do, I don't start it or finish it without God's approval. Like, I just don't. And if God tell me, like, hey, pull back on that, don't do that, I'm going to do it. You just can't never get ahead of the plan of God. Don't try to outrun the plan of God. And then Don't try to outrun the plan of God. But by the time you get to the end of the book, is you're gonna know, like, let me go back and try to figure out why am I wired like this. That's the goal for the first book.
Man, you I appreciate the revelation you giving me, cause what through this talk, I'm getting a lot of stuff from you. I ain't lying. Like, with your book, is it just for women?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Anybody can read it.
And it's a story based on your life?
Yes.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
What I did was took my life stories and put them in different characters. So that's what makes it a fiction. And then I exaggerated some of the storylines. But a few of the stories, like my friends that know me well, they're going to read it and be like, oh, I remember when that happened. But it's my stories and it's put in different people. And I decided to pull it all together as a connection. Like everybody has their own thing going on. But the main character, Sasha, is the nucleus or the reason that everybody feels how they feel about her. So she has a true lack of accountability, which that was me at one point in my life. I failed to take accountability for my actions and I victimized everything. I tried to make everybody else the problem like I was perfect, but that's a part of growing up as a preacher's kid. That's a part of growing up in the church or with a family that places you somewhere that God didn't put you. So, like, we become things in people's lives where we're just like, everybody come to you for everything, and don't allow people to do that to you. When people start coming to you for everything, you mentally put yourself up. You don't do it intentionally, but it's like, okay, now who can I talk to? Because everybody coming to me.
Right.
So, like in the book, Sasha, she pulled herself away from her family, but then blamed everybody else for her problem. And the truth be told, your family didn't do this to you. You're not the cause of it either, but also don't bleed on everybody else around you because you're failing to acknowledge your inadequacy. So,
Right.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write this book?
3 years, and then 2 years of edits. So,
Dang.
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
But that's God, though.
For sure. So
it's
like a lot to really write that go into it.
And I will say it depends on what you're writing about. So it's a novel. When I wrote it the first time, it was trash. It was not a good book. And
how you figure, like, to yourself?
I read it, and a lot of the storylines just didn't connect the way they needed to. I also wasn't comfortable with the story. Like, I wasn't comfortable with people knowing my business.
Right.
So I think the Lord allowed this period of me becoming comfortable before I released the book. Because if I would have did it 2 years ago when it was done, I probably would be walking around holding it to myself and like, no, can't nobody read this. But
you think you somebody for women to look up to?
I would hope I'm somebody that women would see and wonder what must they do to get that kind of freedom. So not necessarily look up to, but look at.
What message would you give the younger women of this generation coming? I know you see it.
The ones that's coming up.
Yeah, hey, all the sorry to say, but the Glorrillas and Sexy Reds that you making listen to it and you got control over that. You know what I'm saying? It's song that's listening to it and oh boom. That's just like back in the day, me listening to Lil Boosie and stuff like that. Hey, that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Till I got to a point where my balance. You know what I'm saying? So what would you tell, what message you would give to this generation of women?
I think you just said it, Tay.
I just said it?
Do you with balance. Like, do you. Like, go experience all that the world has to offer. Now, the thing that's so scary about now is that so much is out there, and we have, you know, it seems, and the world is like this now, that there's no conscience, there's no control, because we're getting closer to, you know. Anyway, the world is like that now, where there's just no restraints. The world is like that. So, but I would tell a young lady to do you with control, with balance, meaning that not one foot in, one foot out, but don't bring yourself into such a closed in space that you don't have a space to move and to live. Because when you turn 30, 31, 32, you're going to be wondering, why am I just now having these kind of experiences? When you could have something under your belt by now if you just go out and experience something. And like you said, with the Glorrillas and the Sexy Reds, I want to meet Glorilla one day. That's like, that's like her and Big Boogie, like, and I'm revealing this on this pod. I pray for Big Boogie. Every time I scroll on TikTok, I pray. Because I pray a shield of protection around him. Some people, you can just see, like, they're rapping, but the Lord, you can see the hand of God, like, really just after they have grinded. And, like, you can see how Glorilla, look at how her life has just changed. Like, and how she's just taking in the moment. So I look at them and be like, you know what, Lord, just cover them. Sure. Cover what's coming into their ears, cover where they put their hands at, and if it's a space that you don't want them to go into, don't let them go. But I don't see, they ain't no different from who we were when we were younger.
Oh, for sure. I don't know though. I don't know if I agree with that.
Why you say that?
It's different. It's different for sure. I think just for how social media is now, make it a little more different.
I need for you to explain it.
I can't explain it right now, I don't think. But it's, the world didn't see everything what we were doing.
Bingo. That's the difference.
Yeah, the world didn't see everything.
That's the difference. Now we can see it. That's everything. The only difference.
Yeah.
Because if you go and talk to anybody in the 18 to 24, 25, you kind of start shipping up, shipping out. But they ain't doing nothing no different from what we used to do.
Yeah.
It's just more apparent because it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram. We can see it more.
Right.
And there's no boundaries.
Well, I think the difference is too that we'll kind of try to hide some stuff. I don't think they even be trying to hide stuff no more. Like, they just out with it. So, yeah, I think that's what the difference is. And, man, you just spoke a bit Boogie, and it just made me think. I just seen a video not long ago of him. I don't know if you seen it or not, but he was, like, sitting in the car, and his homeboy then, like, brought him some balloons and some couple of things. You seen that video?
I ain't seen it.
Man, and he just got out the car and just like crying and stuff, hugging on his homeboys and stuff like that. And to what you said, like, some people we feel like we talking to everybody, helping everybody, and we ain't got nobody to talk to. And we find ourselves in the shower. Me personally, I find myself in the shower just crying to myself, like, let me get it out in the shower before I get back out into the world. I'm straight then, like, and the put on. But that was a moment that it just made me feel like when I seen him do that, like, keep doing what I'm doing, like, to reach out to people that's still in. I not say he in the streets and nothing, but people that ain't where we at. Like, that's why I keep doing what I'm doing, and to the fact that I can't too much worry about what people gonna think when they see my content too much, because I know it's a message behind everything I put out. So yeah. Women conference, you have one every year. How long that been going on?
2023.
Okay. So
we on year number 3.
Okay. What's your message you pushing for that?
Soul glow, so dear friend, it is my desire that you prosper as your soul prospers and be in good health. And I think that's a mandate from God. Your soul has to be anchored, and your soul has, like, there was a moment in my life where I had allowed so many things and people to snatch at things in my soul. So I was left with nothing. Right. A lot. So the prosperity piece of having your soul together is another thing when I was talking about wholeness earlier and just divine alignment. So if the Bible says that he wants your soul to prosper and to be in good health, that puts you in a position of reception. Mm-hmm. So getting your soul right, getting your health right, the Lord can pour things into you and on you, and he can take you places that you couldn't take yourself because you've done the work to get your soul together. So that's where Soul Glow comes in, that we deal with the mental space, we deal with your relationship with God, and we deal with your financial stability.
What's up? It's been going good. So.
Yeah. Last year was probably one of the best ones. So this year is gonna be good though. This year I'm excited about it. I'm excited.
That was so. You want to let them know?
Oh yeah, how to order?
Yeah.
Child. My book, Sleeping Between the Pews, it comes out officially on March 18th. We have on March 18th, it'll be available not only on my website, but on Amazon as well. And you can buy it on Kindle. Mm-hmm. And then on March 22nd is the book release party. I want you to come to my book release party.
For real? Mm-hmm. Where it going to be at?
In Dublin. Okay. At Saltwater Fishery. Okay. You can just drop in. Yeah.
For sure. What's your website?
It's www.thetotalwomanexperience.com.
Okay, for sure. Mm-hmm. And the women conference that's coming up?
Yeah, so it's April 17th through the 19th, and it's located at St. James Christian Fellowship. So the night services start at 7 o'clock. The night services are free on that Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday is a ticketed event. The tickets are $50, but it's going to be worth it. So, and Saturday's event will be held at the Loft venue in Sandersville.
That was so. Hey, man, I've been sitting back. I wanted you to come on, to talk to you for sure and to put your stuff out. But I've been sitting back, man. You doing your thing, man.
Thank you. You are thing. Too.
I'm trying.
You are too. That's what I was getting ready to tell you. Like, go after this relentlessly, and then God does the establishment. Mm-hmm. Like one plant, one waters, but then God gives the increase. And like the more you do a thing, the Lord will show. He'll navigate you to exactly where your landing point is. So all of the things that you're concerned about, it'll start falling off, and you won't have to force it. So just let God lead this where you see it going. You're the one with the vision. So the only thing you got to do is have good people working with you and make sure you treat your people right. But that's the only thing I want to tell you. I don't even want to take over, but while you were talking concerned about who's looking, mm-hmm. just as sure as someone is looking to judge, someone else is looking to be encouraged.
Right.
Like, so as you grow, whatever is not supposed to be on you, whatever is not supposed to be attached to you, it'll fall off. So just keep going.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Any last words?
No, this has been fun. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But this has been fun. I really hope that when people listen to this, that they just kind of see, like, God. I want people to see God. I want people to wonder, what must they do to be saved? And whichever way we can get it to them, whether it's a podcast, a conference, a book, like, however we can get the word to God's people, like, we got to do it. You talking about the Glow Real and Sexy Red generation, although they are in the church, all of them ain't there. So, but they'll pick up a book called Sleeping Between the Pews because of what they think it's about. So, these avenues, I want to see it multiply. I want to see I want to see what we are, the new generation in the church, what we can bring.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Hey man, y'all, she was all nervous. She say she's still nervous.
I'm still moving my hands and everything.
Man, listen, when I tell you did good, you broke stuff down good, like, hey, you was in your bag. You was in your bag for sure. And I appreciate you coming. When you sell 1 million copies of your book and your conference be global and you singing global and stuff, come back again. Don't forget about me now.
I got you.
Hey man, I appreciate you again, man. Hopefully we can sit down again. You feel me?
Yes, definitely. This was fun.
For sure, man. Hey, go like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on the post notification, man. So every time I drop, you will get the drop, man. Hey man, say man, it's your boy Tizzle, and we out this thing.